Boom. All right, bro. We rolling.
We rolling?
Yeah.
Yo,
Rolling.
what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Easy Talk Podcast. It's a real banger for this episode. This one is highly anticipated. First off, I got my boy Kasai right here with me.
Yo. What's the dilly?
Arguably, like hands down, one of the best artists in the IE.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you a lot.
Now the setting does look kind of different, bro. I'm gonna be honest. We're at his pad today.
Hey, it's a pleasure to host, bro. We've been to your pad quite a few times for things that have been undisclosed or talked about yet, but we could talk about them here. But yeah, I think this is your first time here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. My first time here at your pad, bro. And
Yeah.
honestly, I fucking love it, bro.
I appreciate it,
It's
bro.
amazing,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you for having me here, though, bro. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So what's new, man? What's up? What do we do here? What do we do on the Easy Talks podcast?
On here, bro, we just talk. Normally I interview, all the artists, that are in the city. I kind of want to switch it up with you, because you've actually done podcasts in the past.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're a seasoned vet, bro. So I kind of want to dive into everything with you. Just talk about some shit that you got going on and your past shit.
Yeah, bro. I mean, as far as podcasting goes, I did the Midnight Run podcast. So, me, Cam Archer, and True Speech, we did like 150 episodes or something, and it started off with just three homies. Like after shows, we used to be in the parking lot for an extra hour or two, and we would just be talking bullshit. And we developed a little crowd around us, like people just listening to us talk about bullshit.
Right.
Because we talk about movies, music after shows. And we went, this is a podcast. Like, we have people captivated outside in the parking lot. If we do this professionally, it might actually go somewhere. And it grew, bro. Like, we developed a real platform, and we didn't do no guests, nothing. It was just us three. And we'd have friends, like, hang out in the room in the background while we potted. But it was just a vibe, bro. It was just kicking it with the homies,
Man.
So.
That's kind of how, similar like how I got going, because it was like one night that, me, David, and like our homie and our other brother Isaac, we were driving to LA and we were just having a deep conversation about everything, bro.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about fucking baseball and how the Astros cheated, going to talking about who's dropping music, just a whole bunch of shit, bro. But it really be those type of conversations that really get you going,
Right.
And stuff that you just be out of tune with everything, bro. So it was just a crazy conversation that we had. And then fucking David was just like, "Yo, man, you should just start a podcast, bro."
So how's the journey been so far? Because this is now season 2 so far.
Right.
What season 1 tell you, bro?
Season 1, bro. Season 1 told me that there are people that are listening to what you got going on, and people are reaching out more to me, wanting to be on an episode and stuff like that. But honestly, season 2, like I want to kind of switch it up from doing strictly interviews to just mixing it in with interviews, talking about other shit, crazy topics that's going on, whether it be music, sports, fucking politics, a little bit politics. I don't really know too much about politics.
I was gonna say, I'm not a politic guy. Whenever our podcast kind of went that direction, I felt like our numbers went down because people don't go to us for politics.
But what's crazy though, like I was at a Starbucks the other day, right? And I was just kind of bullshitting. I was just asking this lady, like, "Yo, like, what do you kind of like look for in a podcast?" And she was like, "Oh, I look for like politics, murder." I'm like,
hey, I'll tell you this, bro. This is just a fun fact. So I'm an obsessive person. So when I decided to go into the podcast world, I did all the research. What are the most listened to? Who's the most successful? And murder mystery podcasts, they are running the charts, bro. Like,
dude,
people love to hear about those unsolved cases, journalistic stories, the anthologies of murder mysteries and all that. And I listened to one. It was called the Serial Podcast. And it was this journalist who, her podcast was literally her just telling you, her researching and learning about the case, going to meet the people in the case, and trying to figure out what happened. Because some guy, basically, this guy got convicted of killing his girlfriend in high school.
Right.
And she was like, I went through the case, and there's not 100% evident proof that he even did it. And so you listen to her talk about her whole process of the investigation. You're like, he did that shit. Oh, he didn't do it. Oh, he didn't. Like, bro, your mind keeps changing. I was obsessed, dog. Like, I listened the whole way through. And then, of course, boom, I'm on the Joe Budden podcast. Now I'm listening to hip-hop news and current events, and they're talking about stories of their lives, and, you know, so there's a lot of different styles, you know.
I say the one, like, podcast that really influenced me to get going was the Adam 22 one.
Really?
Him and Joe Budden.
Okay.
Well, with the Adam 22 that got me interested was just the interviews that he does, you know. The funny shit that he says and stuff. Like, he just lays back. Sometimes he gets into it with the artists and stuff like that. And I'm
it's organic, right?
It's organic, bro. Yeah. But that's what really makes the podcast. Yeah. Honestly, it's just everything's just organic.
Yeah. When you are watching a podcast and you feel like the vibes are there, it makes you like want to be there. Like you feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, bro.
It's fire, man.
Like there'll be times where I'm listening to podcasts, I'm like, well, fuck, I want to put my input on some shit.
Yeah.
But like that's how in tune I get with it.
Right.
But it's just crazy, bro. I love the experience, honestly. Like I just the other day, somebody just hit me up like, yo, bro, like I really fuck what you got going on, and I want to be in an episode. And I was like, you know what, bro? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? You know, at this point.
You got a platform now, bro. I could tell you from the artist perspective, since I make music, I love the idea of someone helping me explain what I'm out here doing with my music. You know, like, that is like a blessing to an artist, dude. Like, we don't care how big your fan base is. If you got 4 people who listen to your pod every week, and those 4 people are going to just listen to what I have to say about my music, that's dope. Like, I'm going to be there every time, you know, because how many times have I gone and done a show where there's 10 people in the crowd? It's no different, you know, but now the people are paying attention to just me, not the bar, not the girls running around. So it's beautiful to do pods.
I was just telling David the other day, like, it really feels good when somebody just recognizes what you got going on and
hell yeah,
they're just in tune with it. Like, I feel like that's what gets me going, and that's what like makes me want to continue to do this stuff because people are actually like listening and like
I feel like
reaching
this is
out.
Gonna be special, bro. This episode will be special. So where we go from here, man? Like, what's been on your mind?
Man, just everything, man. Like, mainly the podcast, bro. Like, there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about this shit. And like, it kind of drives me insane to a point where like, fuck, like, I want to perfect everything about this.
I'm gonna give you a short list, bro. I'm gonna give you a short list. This is for anyone who's aspiring to do a podcast too. I was telling him earlier, I've done at least 300 podcast episodes in my life through various platforms. These are the easy steps you have to do to be successful at it. Step 1 is have a set schedule, and make sure your listeners know it.
Right.
So for you do seasons. Make sure that you let listeners know, yo, I drop an episode every Saturday morning or bi-weekly every second Saturday or once a month on this day. Have it set up. Boom. Like, people can set a notification because they know it's going to be there. If you have a consistent schedule, you'll have consistent fans. The second you get inconsistent with your drop dates, people just stop caring, you know? And if they come across it, they come across it. I don't know if you keep up with Leo's slap episodes he does.
I tune in here and there.
Do you know what days he does it on?
No.
He does every Monday and Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah, and so no matter what, he taps in at the same time on those days for his live, and there's a core group of people who are always there listening. And then, of course, there's people like me and you that kind of, float in, he's live, float back out, you know? And, but he always will have that core group of people who, it's a part of their routine, bro. Like, he's like, I'm off on Wednesdays from work. Leo's on live. That's what I do in my afternoon.
Jeez,
so
man.
you wanna get those people and bring them in, you know? So that's step 1 is a set schedule. Step 2 would be just making sure you're on platforms that people actually use, you know? So don't close yourself off to just YouTube or just Spotify. Like, if I were you, bro, I'd be dropping the audio on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, anywhere that people can access the audio, do it. And then with the video, drop it on IGTV, drop it on YouTube, drop it on Reels, clips, you know, and give people access to you consistently. And it almost feels like work at first, dude. But once you get in a rhythm, you're set. And then the last thing is just making sure the shit's actually good.
Right.
You know, so like today we're filming in 6K, we're in Pro Tools. Like, this shit's
man,
icy.
We're going crazy with it today, bro.
This is going to be a beautiful episode, but you guys are in Sunny Studio.
Yeah.
Beautiful quality there. You guys got a good camera, so you got that down. Like, so that's the hard part for some people because a lot of podcasts sound like shit.
Oh man, and that's what's been like the biggest thing for me too. Like it's helped a lot that I got a team with me. I got both my brothers. I got Isaac and David helping me.
Yeah, I didn't have that, bro.
Man,
with my podcast, I had two guys who I could rely on to be funny as hell, and like the conversations are gonna be sick and dope. Like we're funny. We're talking music. I know they know what they're saying, but on the flip side, it was I did the cover art. I did the recordings. I did the mixing. If we wanted to do video, I was going to do the video. You know, and it felt like, damn, like if I do want to make this grow bigger, I'm going to be committing myself to a little more work.
Yeah.
And CJ had stepped in for a little. I think you know CJ.
Yeah, right? CJ Wesley.
Yeah, CJ Wesley stepped in and helped me by doing some of the video editing. And, man, it made it so much easier for me to focus, you know?
Like, we all have, like, our own, like, set thing. Like, Isaac, he records, edits, drops. David does the audio. Me, I bring in everybody and got
you guys form like Voltron and, like, and then you have a machine, and once the machine's working smoothly, it's just fun after that.
Oh yeah,
you
man.
Just watch the numbers go.
Everything just goes so smooth, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, man. If I were you, that would be my next step. Is like lock in with yourself and be like, how often can I realistically drop?
Hell yeah,
you know, and really just lock in a schedule. Because guests, you know, there's a million guests out there. So you'll have no trouble finding artists.
Right.
And then, of course, you know, you and your homies could always just, if you don't have an artist, just kick it.
Shit, man. Just kick it. Talk about some interesting shit that's going on with us.
There's always new shit going on in the world, bro. Like, I don't know what's happened recently. I mean, Kanye and Drake had their war where they just dropped on each other.
Dude, I was just talking to David about that, too, the other day. I was all like, I like their albums, but I don't love them.
Yeah.
Like,
Drake's grew on me, and I kind of grew out of Kanye's, if that makes sense. So, like, Kanye's on the first listen, I was just like, yo, the production is, like, amazing. Like, the beats are so big and large, and everything sounds so pro. And then, like, a few weeks later, I was like, I don't even really remember what he's saying on the songs. Like, the songs, like, the writing on the songs for the Kanye, I liked all the features. Everyone who hopped on the records killed it, but Kanye himself was just cool. Drake's album, on the other hand, the first time I listened, I was like, oh, these are cool. These are solid. And then like a week later, I was like, yo, even Way Too Sexy is a banger. And I didn't like it the first time I heard it.
That and then TSU. Hands down for me.
Yeah, bro.
Those
are bangers.
But what was crazy about Donda that makes me appreciate him more was actually a producer that you know very well named Not Being.
That's my
had a placement on that, bro.
I don't know if you know my relationship with Nabian.
I heard you grew up with him.
Yeah, I've known him since we were in middle school.
Man,
I was there when he started making beats. Like started. Like me and him, when I first started rapping, it was his beats. I've been rapping on his beats since I was like 15 or something like that.
Man.
You know, he's part of the reason I'm an artist. You know. He was sitting right next to me just like this. We'd be in his mom's house just working on beats, coming up with ideas. I'd be like, yo, sample this, sample that, come up with this. And we started a group called the Hip Hop Swordsmen.
Oh, man.
And, bro, we were nerdy as hell. We had our crew, we were low-key ahead of our time with this part. In our crew, we had a producer. We had an artist who would make comic books of us, anime versions of us, swordsman versions of us. And then we had me and two other guys that would rap. So we had like actual team members. Everyone had roles, you know, and at some point in my life that dropped off and everybody in the group was a rapper, you know, and we screwed up there. Like we had no one doing videos, no one who could mix, no one who could do anything. And we had all relearn that stuff later, but I was onto something with that first group. Like we were dope, bro. Like if we were actually good at rapping and making music back then, we might have been out of here.
Man. But to see like a close homie like him like blow up like that and to get like crazy placements like that, how does that make you feel?
Well, here's the thing, man. With him, it's literally like it was inevitable. He's a workhorse. He's been consistently making new beats for 15 years, bro. Like there's a new beat every week for 15 years.
Jesus.
I have on this computer hard drive, I probably have 500 beats of his. And they're all from 2013 or older.
Damn, man. That's...
Like, I literally stopped trying to keep track of his beats. Because I used to collect them and hoard them. Because I would just listen to him because I'm a fan, you know? But it got to a point where I was like, dude, I can't even keep up with what you're doing anymore.
Man.
He's such a great guy to be around that anyone he meets, they're going to recognize his hard work. his talent, and he's a dope dude. And I think that's how he's kind of grown and networked his way to the top. You know, he's amazing to be within a studio. And back then, he only sampled and used an MPC. And now, after he met Leo, I introduced him to Leo. I'm the reason they work together.
Man,
which is crazy.
Let me just tell you real quick, that is a crazy combo to like have work together, because both of them are just two powerhouse teams, just fucking colliding and shit, bro.
It's funny, bro, because like I'm transitioning out of music and I'm gonna do strictly film and visuals.
Okay.
And I'm starting off by doing mini documentaries of special people around here, and I'm gonna shoot it like cinematic as fuck. And he's the first person on the list. I'm gonna do his documentary first, and it's funny because I'm gonna do his documentary, but I'm a part of his story. Like the reason he got into some of those giant studios, like the Drake placement and all that, it was because he could play piano. He didn't want to play piano until he came back into town, and I told him, "Yo, bro, you got to meet this guy, Leo." He was like, "All right, I'll meet him." I brought him over to Leo's house, and Leo convinced him to start playing the keys. And that would have never happened, bro, if I hadn't like just bridged that gap. And that's all she wrote from there, you know. So
man, I've actually met Nabi a couple of times. He's came to the house a couple of times, you know, chopped it up with David, you know, sessions and everything. And he's a real down to earth guy, man. He's actually a pretty dope guy to just sit down and talk to.
He's cool, man. He's a cool dude. He's super. You would never guess what he's accomplished in his life. He was in the Junior Olympics for track as a triple jumper.
Jesus, man. See,
he has a master's degree in like scoring and media and stuff like that. He can film a movie himself. He knows how to film and edit. Like, he's a monster.
At this point, bro, like, what doesn't he do, bro?
You know? I mean, he can't hoop like I could hoop. I'll ball him up anytime. Navi, and if you're watching this, see me in 21 whenever.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, man, so he's a brilliant guy, you know?
Yeah, man. Crazy. I just like to see, like, people like that just blow up, you know? Because he's a real humble guy. Yeah. I will say this, like, that he's a real humble guy.
Yeah.
You know, so... Shout out to Nightbeam, man, and oh gosh,
right.
You know. But I kind of wanted to dive into your music career. Okay. But before that, I like to check in with my people, you know. Mm-hmm. So I kind of picked up this thing from I don't know if you ever seen an I Am Athlete podcast.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know if you know who Brandon Marshall is.
Yeah.
So he has a podcast, and he likes to check in with everybody, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10. How are you mentally, physically, and emotionally?
Okay.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you physically, mentally, and emotionally?
Man, overall, I'm probably sitting at a good 7.5. My whole body hurts right now. So.
Oh, man.
Bro, like, I'm a workhorse. Like, I love sports, working out, exercising. To a fault. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm sick, if I'm dying. Like, I'm trying to get out there and sweat. So, my body's hurting right now. Mentally, I'm a little... Man, so as you can see, I'm kind of in like a constructive phase. Like I'm building things right now. So like we got like a plastic curtain on the window, but we got like designer furniture and shit. Like it's weird in here. And it's hard for me to get where I want to be creatively in my mind when I just like I'm in an incomplete space. So I've been struggling with making new music here. I've been having to go to other people's creative spaces to really make the music I want to make, but outside of that, man, I mean, this is a beautiful problem to have, you know, like, this not done, you know, but that's what's holding me up, man, because kind of like you were just asking, like, I have music coming, and it's been kind of sitting at 85% done for months because of this, you know, so.
But once this gets complete, then it's like...
Steamrolling, I'm flying, you know.
Nothing stopping you.
Right.
But I actually knew about you back in 2019. Mm-hmm. You had David on the song, 2 songs with you actually, Dame Time and
OER,
yeah, OER, and I was like, damn, who is this guy right here, bro? He's kind of like spitting like crazy, and Dave was like, oh, that's the homie Jay Kasai. I was like, okay, I gotta see this guy, I gotta meet him, you know, and I seen the podcast episode that you did with him, the interview about DV3 and everything.
Oh yeah,
like
for the record, yeah.
I'm like, damn, this guy makes music and he's doing a podcast, and then we had met up when at your other spot.
Yeah.
For a session with you and David.
Way back.
And I was
that
like,
was way back.
Damn, this guy records too? Like,
Yeah.
what doesn't this guy do?
Yeah.
And then we were just chopping it up, and I was like, yo, this guy's dope. I need to, like, connect with this guy more, pick out his brain and stuff.
Yeah, bro. Like, you were a good vibe in the studio, and that's, like, I didn't say anything to you about it then, but I don't like random people being in a creative space. You know, I feel like it's a very sensitive place for a creator. Like, you're a creator, you know?
Right.
You're not going to pod as well if there's some idiot in the corner of the room that I had here, you know? You're going to be like, why do you have that guy there, man? Like, I don't know if I want to go back if that guy's going to be just popping up, you know? And Sonny hit me like, yo, man, I got a guy, my boy coming through, my bro, you know, is that cool? And I was like, if he's your people, like, bring him every time, you know? And once we met, I was like, oh, no, he was a vibe. Like, you were super laid back and humble, and you were a cool dude. And I was like, I'm always going to mess with that dude, like, for sure, you know? So ever since then, I separated you and Sonny. Like, you're not a package deal to me anymore, you know? So, like, I can support you and him separately. Oh, so, man. You know, like, anything you need, you know, if I could do it, I'll do it.
Thank you, man. And all love, man. I want to dive into, like, what projects you got going on.
Man, so this is I'm a very plan 10 years ahead person. So I started an album in 2013. This is way back. That's when I first met Leo. I started an album back then. The album started getting too crazy. Like, I was like, this album is a classic. That's how I felt. And then I started really thinking to myself, if I drop a classic right now, what's going to happen? That's what I was thinking. Like, what will happen after it comes out? And I was like, all right, I'm going to get like 50 fans. Like, if I throw a show today and I say the album's dropping today, 100 people will be there. 50 of them are just going to be the local people that know who I am and are friends. 50 people will probably be fans of my music. And I was like, I don't think it's best if I drop the album for 100 people. So I was like, I'm going to throw some tapes out slowly and try to build my base up. So I did Kasai Tape 1, Kasai Tape 2, and then Kasai Tape 3.
All bangers.
And, bro, they're literally me just like, quick music, quick music, quick music. They're not songs where I put a whole lot of effort into it. I just reached out to my homies, made some quick records. Some of them are old records, redone, flipped a few. Then stuff like Dame Time happened on accident. Purely accident, bro. Like, I ran into Sonny at a show, and I was like, yo, bro, come listen to this YouTube beat I rapped on. It was a Pusha T type beat. We got in my car during the show. He listens, and he was like, oh, my God. And I was like, dog, I want you on it. What do you think? He was like, say less. He laid his verse, and the song went so crazy, we had to go to Leo's and make it a full record. So the song used to just be called Stop, and it was on a YouTube beat. And then we went into Leo's, and it became a song called Dame Time, and we ended up doing a video. It went crazy, bro.
Crazy, bro.
It went way beyond what I expected. And that's when I told him, like, we have to do another one. We have to, like, right now, ride the momentum. That's when we did OER. And both of those ended up being on KT3. So, yeah, KT3 is a crazy project, man.
Crazy, bro. I would say that was my favorite project of yours. KT3 is just bangers after bangers. Producers going crazy on it.
Yeah.
Mixes are clean. Everything was just...
man. Yeah, and what's crazy is it's just a tape, you know? Like, it's not something I try to make into a science or make hits or try to shake the city up. It was just me trying to just, like, make sure I drop one project a year. Every year.
So people know I'm still in tune.
I'm still working. I still make music. That's why last year during quarantine, me and Cam Archer, we dropped Midnight Run. And that was a duo album we've been working on since 2014. You know, like, it was just old songs, remixed, revamped, updated verses, new content. We threw in some new joints, and we dropped that too. And yeah, man, since then, now I have nothing left except for the new music. This is going to be the first time I say this on a public platform, but me and Sonny have an album together.
Oh, man.
Listen, I say this with all honesty, as far as like sonically being different from anything else, this is probably the most forward moving music I've heard out the IE that has been put out on a real platform. Like, it's very non-conventional. A lot of sonics, a lot of singing, a lot of melodies, a lot of spookiness, a lot of driving beats from Nabi and Ogosh only. They're the only producers on it. And yeah, me and Sonny are just experimenting. We have a lot of vocalists on it. It's a special project, bro.
Oh my gosh. Would you say, like, just hearing you talk about your music and stuff and how, like, long you've been working on your projects and stuff. Would you say you're more of like a perfectionist?
Oh, it's disgusting. I had to slap myself and just drop something, you know, like, and that's why I call the Kasai tapes just Kasai tapes. You know, there's no pressure on that for me. If it comes out and it's not perfect, I don't feel strained about it or anything. And once I finally got in that mind state, I was dropping projects every year. Versus like it took me 3 years to drop a project I still didn't think was perfect back when I was younger. So I'm in a great space now, and I'm so much more experienced with making music that I can make a record and be happy with it pretty quickly. So yeah, I got my solo album coming, the album with Sunny coming, and then right now what's coming next is I have an EP with Leo that I made.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and what's crazy is me and Leo, we already had an EP done, probably for almost a year now. But I started doing his YouTube slap episodes with him, and we probably have made since then 6 records additionally. So I'm thinking about dropping a EP part 1 and part 2 and just splitting it because it's a lot of songs.
Man.
So it's wild, man. There's some special stuff on
just
there.
Going crazy, man.
I want you to hear some of it so bad, man.
Oh, man, I'm always down to listen to what you got going on, bro.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, like, just like, you know, just vibing and stuff and talking to you and everything, like, it feels like, you know, like, how can I say this? Like, it's inspirational, you know, because just like how motivated you are and like, and how like perfectionist, like how much of a perfectionist you are, you know, it's just inspiring to me and stuff like that.
Hey, bro. You're always welcome here to work with me, bro. I love working with people. Like, I'm a collaborative spirit. And it's funny because I'm also like a lone wolf also. Like, I do all my own recording. I write by myself. I make the songs by myself. I just sit in this room and just work. And I do the whole album by myself. But now I'm starting to learn to like work with Leo more. Like, that's the first person I've really opened up to making songs alongside, where I'll record vocals at his house. I didn't record vocals outside of my microphone for probably 6 years. Yeah, and he's probably someone I trust his ears so much that I'll open up and do whatever, you know, with him. So I'm learning to be more collaborative, and that's why I started recording at Sunny's studio. And you know, we collaborate on the mixes there. Like, he's an engineer now. He's killing it with the engineer work. So yeah, that's a beautiful place to be at too for me now. So now it's just more about being with the right people. But I'm down to work with anyone.
Oh, so. Man. And also, too, I wanted to dive into a little something kind of off track, but I heard that you have your own group, too. Or you had your own group called OE.
Yeah.
Kind of, how did that get started?
So I'm very much like a scientist, you know. So like I told you earlier, I love collaborating with people. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit of like a music snob, you know. Like, I like to only collaborate with people who I think write to a certain ilk of technical skill. You know, I'm very passionate about the way people rap. And it started with me and Speech. I've known Speech. We were neighbors. We used to live in a really rough neighborhood, and we were neighbors there, and we kind of bonded over video games back then, basketball, and we were into everything but the music. And one day I kind of told him, like, yo, bro, I rap. I don't know if I really rap, but I told him I did. You know, I was like, yo, I rap, man. I make music now. And he was like, I do poetry. And I was like,
I do poetry.
Like, this is my homie. So I was like, poetry is rap, you know? Like, you rap, bro. And like, he was like, okay. And we started making songs together. And so it started with me and him. And then we kind of started branching out further and further. And there's a long story to this, but the way it ends is, we took that style of like super hip hoppy, backpack, boom bappy rap, that style, and we started putting it on other kinds of beats. And he was like, yo, I got a guy I know who's dope. His name's CJ. And I was like, bring him through. He brought CJ over. And I was like, CJ's dope as hell. I was like, let's keep him around. Then my homie Mills, he was like that guy in the circle who don't really do anything, but he's just the homie, you know, he's just always around.
Like, he brings the vibes up and everything.
Always. He's at every show. He's that dude who's like, that song's whack, that song's dope. Like, he's got good taste. He don't lie to you.
That's kind of like, you need those type of people though in your circle.
You have to.
You have to.
He's told me multiple times, that song was cool. I'm like, that shit was whack. You know, like, if he's not excited about it, I don't even want to drop it. So he was like, yo, there's this dude named Cam Archer. He works at my job. He's a beast. And I was like, you got good taste, but like, really, you know?
Yeah.
And I finally met Cam Archer, and I was like, oh, he's dope. And we combined his crew with my crew, and we started up OE that way. And that was how it was an alliance. So it was my group back then called Dying Breed, and his group called Half Valve Entertainment. And I was like, we definitely not going to be called Half Valve, so that's not an option. And then I was like, and nobody wants to get like their group put under a group, you know? I was like, they don't want to be called our group name. So we made a new group name, and it was called Over Everything. And then that's when we brought in Cam, and a few of his Kid Dryden was in the group at the time. And our final ending roster, when it was all said and done, we brought in Nicholas Gray. He joined up, and then we had a few singers come and go. And then our in-house producers were exclusively Nabi and Nogosh Leotis. You know, and that was history after that. You know, like amazing projects have come out of it. Amazing videos, you know, because we all do videography and editing. And we have engineers. We have artists to do cover work. We have a real talent house. So OE was a driving force. There was some logistical issues, so not a lot was coming out outside of Cam Archer musically, and I think that ultimately is what kind of bottlenecked us as far as like all the talent and material, and it kind of would get stopped up as far as dropping things consistently and promoting it. But yeah, man, that was a special time.
Was there ever like a point in time where you thought about like, yo, we should just turn this into a label?
Absolutely, but it's hard to mix business with friends, you know, because we all came in very like, I'm shooting videos for free. I'm recording. So in the beginning, I shot all the videos, did all the recording, did all the editing. I did everything. And eventually I kind of just let everyone, hey guys, like, I'm not going to do that. You know?
Right.
And no one tripped, you know, like Cam was like, say less. Like Cam's going Cam no matter what. If I disappeared right now, Cam's dropping albums of videos. So like, people started kind of branching out and doing their own thing in that way. And then when we tried to make it more business-like, you know, things just were slow. So it is what it is. But I think that we should have, from the jump, tried to take a business approach. I think that we would have realized, okay, we need to outsource this, insource that. Maybe we focus on your album, and when your album drops, we see how much money we make off it and put that towards his album. And, you know, create a cycle. But we was just dropping when we felt like it. So it was interesting times, man. A lot to learn from that.
But honestly, I listen to everybody in that group, and honestly, everybody's super talented.
Yeah.
You know, Cam Archer, Nit.
That was a requirement. You know, there were a lot of people that asked to be in the group, and 2 members would say yes, and then 2 members would say no. You know, if we didn't all give a green light, which is almost impossible, people weren't going to get brought in. The only people that ever made it through that filtering process was Nicholas Gray, Ogosh Leotis, and Nabian. That's it. They're the only people who got added on after. No one else fully could make it through. Like, we liked them as a person, or we liked their raps, but not their, you know, it was just always something. So it was tough to get in the circle.
Was it more like, you know, people that are just like, the people that you rejected, were they more like, damn, like, I want to be a rapper, like, they fall into that category, like, I want to rap because everybody else is rapping?
Nah, it was people who, they were already creating their own movement, you know? Like, these are people who are dropping music, dropping albums, dropping songs, doing their thing, and I respect it. But it didn't match our cloth, which is like, we have a little thing called the bar gods, you know, that we kind of, a stigma we carry, where we're like, we're going to out-rap anybody who comes towards our circle. I can't recruit someone if I can't say that for them when they're not around, you know? Every single person I listed earlier, I think they could rap you out the kitchen, you know? Like, they could rap you out the room, they could rap you to death, you know? Like, these guys could rap 10 minutes straight of bars. That's the kind of people I wanted in our roster. If you weren't that, I don't care if you make good songs. You know, that was just kind of our stipulation to be a part of the roster. Right. And so there was some decent artists. I won't drop any names, but there's some decent artists who I just was like, no, you know. And Cam was like, he's cool though. And I was like, I didn't say he wasn't, but just no, you know, like, we can collab with him. He could be in your albums, my albums, but he's not going to be in the core roster. Right. Because once you're in the machine, bro, we're basically saying you get J. Kasai mixing in videos, you get production from Nabi and Noga. The whole 9 yards. You know, you're getting the machine behind you. Right. And you got to be careful, like, because Nabi and Nogosh, they're successful without us. They're our friends. That's why they joined, you know, not because they thought we were special. I'm not gonna take advantage of that by bringing in some weirdos, you know.
Right.
So, and I think they know that. Like, I don't bring people around them that I don't think deserve the cosign. So, you know, like Sonny's first time ever working with Nabi was through me. I vouched for him. I went, he's nice, and then Nabi went, yes, he is. You know, and I stepped away, and they've worked together since. You know, so they don't need me to continue. But yeah, it's kind of the story, man.
Oh man, crazy story, man. But honestly, like, you guys are all dope. Shout out to everybody in that whole circle and stuff. And also too, I kind of want to get your opinion on some things.
Go ahead.
Got to get some things off my chest, bro.
Yeah.
We are now living in times where like everybody wants to be a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and from an seasoned artist, you know, you've been in this game for a really long time. You put a lot of years into this, invested a lot into it. What's your take on like everybody wanting to follow the trend because they get influenced because other people, you know, follow into that trend?
You know, the honest truth is it's just a part of the process. You know, music has never been easier to make. You know, all you need is an iPad. Like, you don't even need a laptop anymore to make a song. And at the end of the day, like, if I would have heard my first songs, my first year, I would have been like, that man is trash. Like, why is he making music? He shouldn't do it. And if somebody would have really told me that, maybe I would have stopped, maybe I wouldn't have, but I wouldn't be who I am today. So I'm a huge endorser of, like, if everyone wants to be a rapper and everyone wants to try it, you know? And obviously, only 1 in a million people make it, you know? We can't all make it. But, you know, it ultimately is about the consumer. Like, do me and you stream it and support it? Because that's the only way people are going to keep doing it and getting away with it. So I'm okay with it. I don't care if people who suck make music, people who are brilliant make music. I do care about listeners supporting the right music, though. So I do hope that, you know, quality music is always in style. Because, I mean, right now, to me, it is. You know, if you look at the charts, the biggest artists on earth, they make good music, bro. You know, that's the fact.
They do, bro.
There's other people who kind of come and go. That's fine. That will always be there. But, like, who's running hip-hop? Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, Kanye, Jay-Z.
Even, like, Lil Baby, you could say.
Lil Baby is making good music, you know? I have nothing to complain about as far as the people who are really charting. I can't be mad. So, as long as that's what the situation is, I won't get upset. If our Drake ends up being some guy who's complete garbage, then I'm going to have some issues. But, yeah, man, like, even, what's his name, Jack Harlow?
Mm-hmm.
I love Jack Harlow.
He's killing it right now, man.
You know, I think he's surprisingly dope. Like, he startled me. I listened to his album and I had to go back through his catalog. So, yeah, there's great music coming out. There's good people coming up, and there will always be bad artists, you know. So, let's just hope they never get on the Mount Rushmore.
But do you think like them surrounding themselves around the right type of people plays a big part too?
I think it's 90% who you know. I know so many IE artists that I think they're better than they need to be. You know, like if there's a bar at how good you need to be in making music to be successful, I know a few local artists who I think they're literally in another universe. You know, I mean, my circle, obviously, I'm gonna support them. I believe they're that good. People that come to mind immediately would be like, I like Dare House a lot. I like Stevie Crooks a lot. I think he's super dope. Stevie Crooks' whole camp is pretty special. He makes music with a few other guys. They're like, for me, they were like the IE Griselda before Griselda. They made gritty lyrical music that was super swaggy. They're different. And I mean, it's a long list. I honestly don't keep up with local music like I used to. I lost interest. But when it reaches me, I don't deny quality.
100% tuned in.
There's a dude named Nicky D's. Me and him have like 2 joints together that aren't out. He's special. You know, he's super dope. And his story, maybe I should have you guys connect because he has a record with, I think it's like Young Thug and Lil Yachty with a music video that's out.
Most definitely. I love to connect.
He has a very special story. And he's from right here. He's from Moreno Valley. So he's dope. You guys should connect. And then, I don't know. There's a bunch of people. I'm not gonna waste too much time plugging people, but yeah, man, you'll meet them.
So I asked a couple people this, and I need your honest opinion.
Okay.
top 5 artists in the IE.
My favorite 5, the most poppin' 5, the best 5. Like what 5 we talking about here?
Let's go your best 5.
My favorite 5. Okay. I'm gonna put Cam on my list. I'm gonna put Stevie Crooks on my list. Sonny Babbles on my list. Damn, who do I like slap their project? CJ Wesley has a crazy project, like crazy. So CJ, Cam, Sonny, Stevie Crooks. Who else has a good project? Man, you know, I don't want to burn bridges on here because there's a few artists I think are retarded talented, but I don't listen to their projects so much. I guess my 5th would be like a rotating spot, but Cam Gnarly just put out a project that had Nikki D's and a few people on it, and that project was solid, bro. It was super solid. So he might rotate. Oh, you know what? I got a 5th. Sorry, Cam Gnarly. Phantom Threat. That's my 5th.
Phantom Threat?
Yeah. Me and Phantom have a record together that is fire, and yeah, he's like a stoic enigma. His album's called Enigma that just came out. I don't know why that linked well, but he's special. He does a little singing. He's smooth. He's ominous. He's mysterious. He's got special music. Super laid back. It's like some smoke music.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, he's dope. He don't even be trying to like get the attention. It just kind of he demands it. You know, very quietly. He's dope.
Man, it's been dope, bro. This episode, I feel like it's gonna really shoot up. But
yeah.
Thank you, man, for having me in your house, bro.
Hey, man, always a pleasure. Easy Talks Pod. Hey, bro, if you ever want to do another episode here, holla at me.
Hell yeah, bro. But before we close out, I gotta talk to you about this. I didn't really get a chance to talk to you about it.
Okay.
You went to my 21st birthday party, bro.
Woo! Yes, sir. Hey, bro, I tried my best not to post nothing because this wild shit was going down.
Oh, man.
I was like, I can't just be posting my guy out there like that. I was like, I don't know the code in this situation. That shit was live, bro.
Did you have a good time, bro?
That shit was a vibe, bro. I'm so glad I went because I really, if you know me, I don't really be out there. I don't be leaving the house, but I came out for that just because you were my boy. It was a vibe, bro. That shit was a blast, so.
Damn, bro.
Y'all threw it down, man. So, good times.
Shout out to Mom and Pops for planning that whole thing.
Great bartender. Great other staff that got hired. Yeah, man, it was a great time.
Hell yeah, bro. Thank you, man, again.
Yes, sir.
We got to get you an Easy Talk shirt, too,
man. Man. I'm over here wearing my Nike stuff, you know.
We're going to get you right, bro. But thank you, man, and peace out to everybody.
Peace.